happens. Hell's retreating into a little gap here, abusing this choke point extremely well. He still has restoration. I don't know why he's using. Oh yeah, I don't know why he's not using restoration. He really needs to throw it down. It's gonna. There we go. There's the restoration. Going to be enough to at least trade even in this fight. But Army Corps, with the defender's advantage, with the units pumping out straight away, with everything else, with all of these Myth units spawning, going to be enough to pick off the entire army of Hells. Hells now needs to think about, okay, I'm not going to be able to gold starve now. He's going to be able to throw up a hill fort or something over here. He's going to be able to continue to defend this location more effectively. How can I get ahead? Grab this town center, get your population going a lot better. Get more upgrades than you have, because it's probably not good enough at the moment. No, you can get Bosar, Quarry, all those good things. It looks like the market's going down at the moment as well. Might be thinking about starting to get the trade happening, getting ahead economically. Really, the other way is to prevent this town center from getting taken. He's not going to be able to secure that town center anytime soon. And when Hells is sitting on full supply, he can go and sit over here and grab this town center. But first, you want to secure this one, obviously. He doesn't quite have the resources though at the moment, so we'll see if he can manage to really do anything there. There's a bunch of trolls here and only one hero, so this is not a good engagement. He needs to retreat. He needs to get his Chiron and Ajax as soon as possible, which he is attempting to do, but he just doesn't have the population. So it looks like a little bit of micro going on here, but at the moment the army of Army Corps, the army of Army Corps is just too powerful for the Hades player to deal with. He doesn't have a lot of Toxotoes. His army is basically Shades and what's it called, Heavy Hippocon. Now Army Corps got a little bit of advantage. What can he do with it? He might want to try and push off this gold mine, which could be plausible. However, it would be better to play it safe and grab this town center. We'll see what happens though. Is he going to be able to push off this gold mine and then effectively this gold mine as well? It looks like Hells is going in the completely wrong direction. So a bunch of villages are going to get picked off. That's more economy behind that Hells is already behind. Actually, he's probably ahead in economy. He's just behind in military. So the army's going to come around here. He's going to try and flank from behind and see if he can pick off the entire army of Army Corps. I've got to stop saying that. It's annoying me. And try and pick off the entire army of Loki. And we'll see if he managed to just do anything. He's actually going for a trade here. He's wanting to push off Army Corps' gold mine while Army Corps is pushing off his own gold mine. It's probably a good idea. However, the mobility and the complete brute strength of the Loki army just might be a little bit too much. He's going to be able to pick off this town center, which is going to be level the town center playing field. However, which gold mine can Army Corps get? He can get this one. It's not scouted. That'll be a good choice for him there. And it looks like the repair rate is almost okay enough to hold on here, and he's going to try and retreat his army fast enough. He does have a bunch of idle villages, however he needs to start getting them to work, but he does also have 505 gold remaining, so it's not all bad. If he does lose this town center, what he needs to do is completely surround this army and pick up every single unit. He does have a bunch of heroes, but they aren't in his army. He needs to get this Chiron over here as well, which he is doing, so that's good. This town center is going to fall, and we're going to see if this engagement here is going to be good enough for Hells in order to win this fight and then effectively continue to stay in this game. Army Corps retreating through this location. He's trying to find a better engagement angle to fight here. We'll see if he actually managed to do so, or if he's just going to sort of sit here and let himself die, or is he waiting for an upgrade? It's possible that Army Corps is upgrading something. No, he's just sort of running around. And there's the Nidhogg. Yes, he is waiting for an upgrade. So the Nidhogg gets cast. He's going to be able to really destroy this army here with that Nidhogg, kill off a bunch of those Toxotoes, which are going to be the damage dealers, and then also the rest of the army. The Battle Boar are just, again, they're a massive tank, and they're just going to be doing so much damage to Hells. And this town center is just not going to get up, and then Army Corps is going to be able to grab 3 or 4 town centers and then win this game. However, this gold mine over here, going to pick off this ox cart, which is a little bit annoying, going to make those villagers retreat all the way back, but he does have an idle fire giant here, so he might want to send that over into this location. However, It doesn't look like there's any infantry. Oh, there is a little bit of infantry, so he is going to be able to build this town center if he does decide to do so. And he does have that 50 full favor still, so he can produce trolls or get some upgrades or whatever he really decides he wants to. It's a little bit of a chaotic game though. A lot of trades and villager trades and raid trades and all that other good stuff. However, the trade of Hells has started, and he is going to be able to basically get the gold he needs. And we'll see. He does have a lot of gold. He might be trying to get to the Mythic Age, and he is. He's going to go through Hephaestus. He's going to get that Plenty Vault and try and bolster that economy, which is quite bad at the moment. He also wants to get Perseus out in order to deal with all of these overpowered, well, not overpowered, but really powerful myth units of Army Corps' Loki. So Hephaestus is maybe a large ditch effort for Hell's Ravage in this game. Army Corps' army is just getting quite out of control. He doesn't have any armory upgrades, but for some reason it's the myth units are just quite powerful, and he's going to be attempting to take down this town center with those Battle Boar and the Loki Hursa. However, Achilles might be able to pop out and kill off some units if possible. He's going to be attempting to kill off this Battle Boar and then possibly some trolls as well. They do a bunch of damage, so that's going to be good for him. If this town center does manage to fall, then it's putting Army Corps further and further ahead in this game. Basically, this trade route is not going to be able to be kept. All of the donkey caravans are dying. Colossus does pop out though, so that might be able to do something, but the fire giant's spawning right in front of Hell's face. It's almost a mana temple there, but there's the GG. Army Corps does manage to take this game. Interesting play, a lot of weird decisions which somehow managed to work. He was idle villages, not trying to take a gold mine until the very last second, not trying to push anything that he couldn't push. I can't say that every decision he made was the right one, but he did manage to come out ahead in this game, so that's all that matters really. Let's jump into game number 3. It's now currently 2-0 in this series, this Sunday Classic. Army Corps vs Hells on Anatolia. Spawning in the, what's that look like, the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock position in the blue color playing Odin. It is Army Corps, currently 2-0 in this best of 7 series. And spawning in the top, like sort of 2 o'clock position in the red color, currently down, seeing if he can even out this series in this matchup, playing Poseidon is Hell's Ravage. So this map is interesting. Basically, you get these two economically focused water places. You can't ignore them, because if you do, then your opponent gets too much economy and really wins the game. But the key factor is that all of these gold mines are just sitting in the middle. If you control the center, you control the gold mines, you control the game. So it's interesting that the water plays such a role to give you the economic bonus. So that's the first place of engagement, and then the second place of engagement in the middle. So you can't really skip either one of them. The way the map works is you always get 2 gold mines, so you always have enough gold at home in order to survive until one person wins on the water or whatnot. Or you start land and water fighting. But it does look like the map is relatively fair. Army Corps does have a relatively close gold mine. It's kind of out in the open though. There's nothing he can abuse to really control this gold mine. He can't wall it off. He can't do much. He might be able to drop a tower or 2 in order to secure it. Hells, on the other hand, has I would call 3 gold mines favoring him and only 1 gold mine favoring Army Corps. So the map kind of favors Hells in this matchup. However, the town centers they're quite protected as well by the trees, so it's kind of fair TC wise. So you can't really talk much about the map being unfair that way. So really, it looks as though the map is going to be relatively fair. It might come down to the fight at these gold mines, possibly before. We'll see what sort of strategies decide to happen here. Fishing ships, again, I always love to think about our dock as a second early town center. That's why you do it. It's the economic bonus of the extra fishing ship, and the fact that they cost wood, meaning it won't detract from your age time significantly, because you don't need to spend the food on the fishing ships, obviously. Again, both players are going for different sides of the water. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide, like, it's sort of like a mutual decision. Are we going to swap this, or are we going to not swap this? So, are we going to, like, one person have one person have both, or are we going to fight for both, or are we going to only fight for one, or whatever? It's always good to at least force one or two longboats or triremes out of the dock on both sides of the matchup, especially because of the shooting docks. You can fake fighting on that side. You can produce one trireme and then say, okay, I'm going to retreat, and then just produce two fishing ships into two docks. Force the other player to think you're committing on that side, but you're not, so force some longboats. Unnecessary archer ships. However, Army Corps throwing down a dock on both sides, going to be getting, looks like, he's got a lot of wood, but he's not spending it on fishing ships, which is interesting. It seems like a little bit of a mistake, or just he forgot to turn on AQ or something like that. Yeah, it looks like he just forgot to turn on auto queue. However, he does have a lot of wood, so he does have enough to throw down another dock or two. Maybe that's what he was doing. He does have this officer, going to throw down the temple, going to throw down another dock, it looks like. However, Hells does have two docks on this side, so he is going to commit heavily on this side to the fish and see what he can do. Hells does have his temple down as well. He is thinking about going to the classical age. He has 367 food. It's a little bit more, and he will be able to go through. He's going through Hermes, so that's gonna. He's not going for an aggressive strat. He's going through Hermes. He's gonna prevent any weird early heroic with Hermes. Basically, he's playing safe. Army Corps, on the other hand, hasn't advanced yet. Advancing a little bit later. Has, what is that, 13, 10, 11 fishing ships-ish, or 14 fishing ships-ish. Fairly good income of food at the moment. Hell's only throwing out one dock on the other side. I would have liked to see at least two docks, meaning you can force some more longboats on the side of the map, as opposed to this side of the map, which Hell should know about now. He does see that there's two docks already here, and Hermes does pop up, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does decide to do. He's going triremes. He has looks like he's building a Theseus, and what's he doing with it? Is he going to try and, he hasn't seen any of the relics on the map. There's one here, which is a blue crystal shard, and I can't actually find the other relic, but oh well. It's just going to leave it idle, which is interesting. I don't understand why you would. Oh, actually, yes, I do. There we go. It's because of the Valkyrie. There we go. The Valkyrie would come up and harass. You get the Theseus in order to deal with that harass. Hell's getting himself into a bit of a dodgy position there, losing some unnecessary HP onto the triremes. He needs to retreat now in order to deal with it. He hasn't thrown up any military buildings, and he's pretty much going straight for the water over here, as opposed to Army Corps, who is constantly producing Herser from his temple. Might want to throw down a barracks and then try and do a land attack or something. Hells is probably mining from the wrong gold mine as well. You should always mine from your forward gold mine first, so then you can retreat back to your full 3,000 gold mine in order to stay alive. That's definitely what happens. And it just looks like Army Corps doesn't have the gold in order to produce dwarves, so he's producing gatherers instead, and he's forgot to auto-queue his town center again, so he's not producing villages where he should be. There's a little bit of a micro-engagement here. The dock shooting doing a lot of damage as well, so it's kind of a bad engagement excuse me, 4 hells, you're going to have